Hey, it's Andrea with Golden Acorns, where we help guide your growth in 12 key areas of life, like home, relationships, fun, and more. We bring simple, actionable ideas to help move you forward with purpose. Let's plant seeds of potential and grow a life you love. Please share and enjoy. Hi.
You look all pretty, and I'm gymmed up here. So,
Hey.
but
Got to build, baby.
got to build. I love this shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am borrowing today's content
Okay.
from something else I listened to, and what caught my attention is all about teamwork.
Yeah.
And I was kind of smiling when I was thinking about it because I feel like we work really well together.
We are the best team.
I mean, yeah, the best. Sorry, everybody, we're the best. But
We
anyway,
are.
and it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its struggles. But I feel like we always work through things, and we come together on the same goal. And just this was like a cool little list of 6 things. There's 6 signs that you have a strong sense of teamwork.
Ooh, in a relationship.
In your relationship, which could be work relationship, marriage. It doesn't any
so
relationship.
This isn't just necessarily spouse.
No, and that's why I liked it, because I'm like, I feel like, I started thinking outside of you and me, and there's certain people in my W-2 job that I feel like I work well with.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some that I don't feel like I work as well with. And I kind of was thinking about this, and I identified some things that maybe oh, well, that makes sense why maybe I don't work as well.
Is it something, and I know you'll get into it, but are these things that you can work on with other people, or do you think it's just personality types?
No, I think you can work on them. And it's kind of like anything. If you put attention towards it, it's easier to work on. There might be some things where you're like, oh,
being conscious of it.
Yeah, you just be conscious of it.
Yeah.
I think. So, you want to get started?
I do. I'm excited.
Okay. Number 1, you have to accept influence from each other, and you seek and find ways to make win-wins or compromises.
Okay.
So I like that.
Seek influence from one another.
Seek influence from one another. And you find ways to make win-wins and compromises.
I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with and I will say in an actual marriage or partnership is feeling like if you give up your complete autonomy, I feel like that's kind of saying give up a little bit of autonomy. And I think that's a thing that people are really afraid of.
It is. I think I like to look at relationships as it's not 2 people making up one. You are one. You're just, so if there is no compromise, or there's never a winner, I guess is what I mean. In a relationship, there can't be a winner.
Yeah.
Because that's not a relationship.
That is what we call a relationship.
Nice. Yes, that is what that is called.
As Dayton Cook would say.
Right, but you have to also be okay with your compromises, I think. And that's something you shouldn't compromise just to feel like you're giving up. You should be okay with it and understand it and be able to move forward. Move along.
What if someone in the relationship is extremely stubborn? What if both people in the relationship
I think that happens sometimes.
Are extremely stubborn?
Then I think you need to find a way of communicating with each other maybe differently. Or we've talked about a good coach of ours, a friend and a coach, he talks about getting meta with people.
Yeah. God, that was so impactful.
That was impactful. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that's something.
Do you want to explain what meta means? What that means to get meta with someone?
Yeah. So instead of just coming out and dropping somebody or floodlighting them with you need to do this or with that. Getting meta to me is almost like asking permission for them to open their mind, and you're removing them from the situation and say, almost taking to another room, and you're sitting down and you're hey, listen, we're going to talk about this stuff, and I'd like you to have your mind open and my mind open, and be aware of what I'm going to say to you. Is that okay? You just completely remove them from that situation to get their brain to restructure and prepare for it. I feel like
it's asking permission for one, which is huge. That's a That's a big part of any compromise,
I agree.
is asking permission and kind of setting the stage for what the conversation is going to be about.
Yeah, that's perfect. And like, to me, I mean, and I've used it with our kids. I've used it with our parents sometimes. I think you use it with me because I'm a little stubborn sometimes.
If I do it, then I'm just getting better at practicing and not knowing it. But
I mean, we know what it is now. So like, even you just saying something like, hey, could you be open to this? Like, because I'm aware of it now, like that almost lets me know, oh, I need to get meta in this. I
think that's the easiest little trick that we learned in the very beginning, because it just feels so unnatural to do this. Is to say,
it is weird. It's almost like a normal part of your speech that you're used to. So,
right.
Yeah.
Is to say, are you open? Like, are you open to feedback? Instead of just like floodlighting someone with your feedback, which is what I typically do. It's like, are you open to feedback? And I mean, most
not,
people,
you have to respect that.
Yeah, I think most people are going to be like, yeah, but it kind of, instead of instant defense, it's like, oh, well, they've asked my permission, right?
Yeah,
and
it like opens another door in the mind, kind of, I think.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of that, is, like you said, is getting meta with someone and
so whether
asking permission.
Right or wrong, I think that's a great way. Your question was how, if there's two stubborn people, how do you find a compromise? I think that might be a good start.
I think stubbornness too is a sign of inability to be vulnerable. So where is that stemming from? Like, if you won't be vulnerable with the person that you're trying to compromise with, especially if it's your spouse, why is that? Why won't you be vulnerable? Because you have to be vulnerable to not be stubborn and to find that win-win scenario.
Yeah. But it's hard to be on the same team when you can't find that win-win, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, a lot of times I think people keep score almost like, well, I gave you that one, so I need this one. And like, that's not really a team. To me, it's not. Maybe it is to you on your team, but like, to me, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
It's just more understanding where each other's coming from and being like, you know what, that makes more sense than my reason. I think we should do that, or whatever.
Just that openness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, signs you have a strong sense of teamwork in your relationship. Practicing my game show host here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sports announcer.
Yeah, you have a generally positive perspective of your partner. It's pretty simple.
That's huge.
Simple though, right? Simple but not easy.
Simple, but yeah. Not always true.
So basically, if you think your partner is an a-hole, or you already have a bad perspective of them, like, that's going to be really hard to be a team. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I'm kind of surprised that wasn't number one.
So I'm curious, like, this is hard for us because this is not our relationship. So how do you think people can improve their perspective of their partner?
Simple. I think.
How?
I think you can improve it by expressing gratitude.
Just choosing gratitude.
I think the number one way is starting to look for the positives, right? Like, of a team.
You're going to find what you're looking for, whether it's the negatives or the positives.
Yeah, 100%. So by expressing gratitude and like looking at that, I think it's going to transform a teammate relationship. So look at the little things that you are grateful for in them and express them to them. And that's going to transform the other person as well. Like,
absolutely.
I had no idea that they thought that, you know?
It's amazing when you express gratitude towards other people, how receptive they are to that. Not only like it kind of is, it's not normal right now, right? Like,
yeah,
in our society, in our culture, it's like hearing what other people appreciate about you, receiving appreciation.
God, it goes so far.
I mean, it's not common. So like, you feel so special when someone does appreciate you. So
yeah, I will say even little things. If you're just like, Andrea, man, I appreciate like your perspective on things. Like, it's just fresh and I like it. thank you. Like, you don't have to go on a big long spiel.
Mm-hmm.
Just those little things. And like, sometimes you almost catch people off guard. Like, oh, all right. You know, he's a little taller.
It could turn their whole day around.
Yeah. And you talked about, it's just a different world right now too. We all have that little roommate in our head that's always just talking trash, you know? And I think even if we're not like getting that negativity from the world, that little roommate is talking in your ear too. So to have someone be able to overtalk them and just change that, that's great.
Yeah.
So say
great advice.
Grateful things to your teammate.
I think that you're really good at recognizing how to make someone feel appreciated.
Oh my gosh. I'm blushing. Wait, I just worked out. Maybe that's just blood flow. I don't know. Yeah. But I already knew that. So thank you. All right. Number 3, you accept the little flaws and let the little things go. So you got to be more, you got to be more forgiving of each other's idiosyncrasies.
Being, showing grace.
Yeah.
For humanity.
Right.
Like,
and
we're all human.
I will admit, I think that's harder to do the closer you are to somebody. So
the more time you
spend together, right? Like that's when all of a sudden, a lot of times, like those little things can, like, God, I hate the way they chew, or, you know, like those weird things but like that stuff, you can't let it creep up on you. Like you have to be okay with it. And then once again, sometimes going back to gratitude, I think can break those.
I definitely think so too. Yeah.
So
like, oh, this is annoying, but this, and this I'm grateful for. So if you can find more positives than the little annoyances, it's going to overpower that for sure.
Grace is the perfect word though. You got to have some grace with each other.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their off days. Like nobody can be on all the time either. So yeah, I like that one. It's easy too. This one's a little longer. Number 4, you notice and respond to shifts in each other's mood or energy. You never assume what your partner is feeling. Instead, trade your assumptions for curiosity. So you don't have to change your energy to fix theirs. Instead, acknowledge there is a change in their mood and that you were there for them by checking in with them. So that was a lot.
Oh.
Sorry. Let's break it down, right? So you notice and respond to shifts in each other's mood or energy.
Which is easy to notice. I mean, like that's just, but then we joke about that when we're like, well, what's your problem? You know, and it's like,
yeah. What's the quickest way to start a fight?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your problem? Well, I don't have a problem. What's your problem? You know?
Yeah.
So not saying that maybe for step 1.
Yeah. But like it says, never assume. So I am very bad about thinking for other people.
It's definitely something you need to work on.
It's something I'm working on, but it does affect our teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm just like thinking in my head for you and I'm like, she's kind of off today. Maybe something's wrong. And then, you're like, if I don't check in with you and just be like, hey, babe, everything okay?
Yeah.
Like that's a lot different than just being like, whoa, I thought you were pissed off. You're like,
right.
I wasn't, but I am now that you made me pissed off. So you just, and I love the little, like the check-in thing. Like you could even just say like, maybe you guys have a code word or something like that. Like just to each other. You're like, hey, just checking in.
Yeah.
You know, and like, maybe that means like you seem off a little bit. I'm just making sure you're okay.
For me as a woman too, I appreciate physical touch during a check-in. And I just mean like, you know, if you rub my arm or you touch my back or you're just like, are you okay? And you like, there's physical touch in conjunction with that. It just makes a huge difference for me. Cause even if I'm not okay, like I need that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, that might be a little extra. If the person that you're trying to have this great teamwork with, if it's appropriate to have physical touch with that person. Right.
Another really cool, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess, tool that we learned from our coach too. I loved his thing where instead of being like, what's wrong with you? Like you use, it seems.
Yeah.
Like to me, that just kind of deflates that situation a little bit. So if instead of me coming in and being like, what's wrong with you? You seem pissed. You're all pissed off. Like, hey babe, it seems like something's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm opening the door, just saying, hey, I notice something's off, well, if you feel
even
okay.
that, even I noticed you seem a little down, or, so not saying you, but saying I.
Right.
Like I noticed, or I feel like maybe you're giving me sharper answers to things that I'm asking you, sharper answers to questions or something, all right, is everything okay? Like, so, but yeah, it seems is another one that I even like that one above and beyond, like I, me, or I, you, because it's just an observation.
Well, and it takes no sides.
Right.
There's no,
It's
there's
very
no
neutral.
I feel like that one's worked really good with our kids.
Yes.
We've been using that a lot since we learned that. And it helps them like identify emotions, feelings. And we're just like, it seems like you're frustrated. And then instead of me saying you're frustrated,
or like, yeah, you seem really frustrated. You seem versus it seems.
God, it's so different.
Like simplest little thing. Tiniest little one word.
But don't you
right?
feel like they open up more when we say like
Absolutely.
it seems or it appears, or like that's so use that. That's great.
So this this is number 3.
This is number 4.
This number 4
about responding to shifts in each other's energy.
So I mean, literally, this is an entire book on emotional intelligence is what number 4 is.
Yes, it is.
So there is so much more depth to that than, I mean, literally, we could write an entire book on the importance of emotional intelligence, because really that solves everything. And like, we're learning so much. I feel like emotional intelligence is like the number one thing that we've improved in our lives, and the thing that's made the most difference in mostly our relationship with our kids.
Yeah, but I mean, we use it even with adults and other people in our lives, and whether they know it or not,
right?
It's just a great way to, I don't want to say get what you want, but like, it's so much easier to kind of control things and communicate. And yeah. Listen to me. I'm so emotionally intelligent that I don't know what to say.
No, I mean, we have read the books, both like in regard to being emotionally intelligent parents, how to be more emotionally intelligent with our children. That was a really hard book to read, because you feel like, oh my God, I've done everything wrong.
I felt like a trash parent.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, I'm failing.
Yeah. I'm
miserably.
Like, my kids are going to grow up and be losers now because of me.
Because in that book, I remember it was all about emotion coaching. And they talked about, there's like 5 steps. And I feel like we've really gotten good at like the first 3, which is like the whole, like, it seems, like it seems like you're, angry. Are you angry? And helping your child identify what emotion they're feeling. Amazingly, our youngest is the best at this.
Oh man.
Maybe because we've practiced with her at a younger age, but she'll be like crying and upset, and she's like, I'm not angry, I'm frustrated. So like, even the fact that she can identify the difference between angry and frustrated, like, oh my God, it feels like such a parenting win to be like, okay, you're frustrated. Tell me why you're frustrated. And then like, so letting them talk about why they're frustrated and validating that emotion is so hard.
Not being like, well, you shouldn't be frustrated.
Yeah. You don't like, you can't say you shouldn't to a kid.
Yeah. Or don't like, that's, I feel like that's a lot of natural responses. It's like, oh, don't be frustrated.
Oh, don't be sad.
Because now you're taking that away like it's wrong.
Yes. And that was huge. Oh my God, that was so hard.
Because I used to do that. I'd do it with you. I did it with everyone because I wasn't raised with a lot of emotional intelligence. Like,
no.
So if step 1, if they can even identify it, amazing. Step 2, don't take it away from them.
Right. Be like, okay, yeah, I understand that you're frustrated. And then a piece of that is to explain a situation where you had that same emotion and be like, well, this one time when this happened to me, that made me really frustrated. And so I completely understand why you would be frustrated. So trying to relate.
And practicing that empathy, sympathy, because they learn that stuff too from those situations, from you doing that with them.
Yeah. So like, those are the first 3 steps. that I feel like now we need to probably go back and read the book and like
man.
see what the second two were, because I can't even tell you. I mean, I think I know, but
Well, because it takes so much practice. You can't almost just put all of it into one
no,
practice.
it's so hard, especially when you didn't grow up with it, which children of the 80s, like we did not grow up with emotional intelligence. Like I don't know anybody that did.
Our emotional intelligence was the whap to the back of the head.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then we've read a book about what to do if you grew up with emotionally unintelligent parents, right? And so we've kind of received education on both ends, and that helps you to understand not only yourself, but like your parents, and then know to do better through like emotion coaching with your kids.
Yeah.
So improve the cycle, don't continue the cycle. And man, when we first started doing it, it was so hard because we just wanted to be like, just stop. Why are you being like that? And, you know, just like our normal ways of like,
well, we did what we were raised.
So hard. Yeah. Especially when it's an emotion that like socially isn't acceptable. Like a boy crying or something, you know, over something. It's like, we're supposed to make them tough and tell them to stop crying, quit being a baby and all, you know? So, yeah, we're learning, we're growing, but
like I want my kids to be,
to what you're talking about.
I want our kids to be good teammates. I want them to know how to handle people and other emotions. And I think that's a very important thing to teach them for life.
Yeah.
Like,
God. Yeah, absolutely.
You got to work as a team. We're not meant to be individual, even though we're called individuals. Humans aren't meant to be alone. Mm-mm. So we got to know how to work as a team.
Okay. So number 5, babe. Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle 2 more of these.
Oh, you got it. These are easy. Easy ones.
Okay.
So number 5, inspire and believe in one another. So
how do you inspire another person?
I think what these ones are a great way, like simple things are, or maybe this is the opposite of like letting someone know that they're inspiring you. Maybe it's like a simple eye contact or a nod or like a simple touch or just like, man, you know, like just little things like that. Yeah. High five would work. Nux, bam, hit it up. Like,
so kind of a little bit of just pride, showing pride. You think that's inspiration?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would make a great team mate.
I mean, literally you do that in sports. So
yeah, a little, you know how many butts I swatted? Like that's all we did. So, I mean, that's the things, right? That's like, God, good work. You inspired me. Like that's amazing. So I think don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple.
Oh,
like all of these.
I'm really good at overcomplicating things.
Sometimes, but that's okay. Sometimes I need stuff to be more complicated because I make it too simple. Okay, last one, number 6. Good teammates don't keep score.
Oh, you kind of already alluded to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got to always be working together. You got to be rooting for one another. Mm-hmm. Like you have to. Yeah. Even in the tough times, like you gotta lift each other up.
Yeah.
So it's very easy, I feel like, in our society to try to keep score.
And even if you're not necessarily keeping score in regards to, well, like a tit for tat situation, I do still think you keep score in other ways. Meaning like, how do I describe this? So if you just feel like the other person isn't doing something right? Or they're not doing what you want them to do. Like it's easy to be like, for me, because I like to be in control and I like to have a lot of agency over my life. I feel like, why are they doing this to me? Almost like it's not fair. Right?
Okay.
So that's like a score. It's like, it's not fair that they're acting this way. It's not fair that and it's like, it's not about me at all.
Right.
I mean, I recently realized that with you were really struggling with the delays in construction. and in one of our real estate projects. And it was like really frustrating me that you were getting so down on yourself. And I was just like, why is he acting this way? You know, like, why is he being this way towards me? Right. Like I just was taking it personal. And then like, that was so dumb. And so I just recently realized that and tried to have we had a conversation with it. And then I tried to flip the script back to all this stuff that you've been saying today of like, just trying to be a better teammate and support you and not look at it like, why are you doing this? But look at it as like, how can I help you?
And you did. And I think you flipped me a little bit.
I hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying.
That's all I ask. Come here. Let me swat your butt.
Anytime.
I think, something I don't know how many of our listeners played sports, but I don't even know where this is from. But one thing I heard once, it was that opponents keep score, not teammates. Like I want to use that with our kids.
Yeah,
like, I love
that's awesome.
Like, you know who keeps score? An opponent.
That's our golden acorn right there.
I love that. Yeah. So
don't be an opponent with your teammate.
Yeah.
You are on the same team. God, I love that. That's amazing.
Think a lot of times it comes down, like use work, like, depending on what your teammate is doing, but it'd be so easy. Yeah. Coworker. It'd be so easy to be like, I did way more work than them, or, but it's like, look at the long term. It's not about one project. It's not about
1 week, one day.
Use an example, we're a teammate on one of our big projects down south, and you did so much work in the front, like a lot. And I felt like I was doing nothing. And
we just have different roles though. We're different players.
And you kept saying, you're like, oh, yours is coming up. And I'm just like, I feel like I should be doing more. And now it's got to that point, where now it's like time for me to step in and do a lot more. And you can kind of sit back a little bit. So it's just that longevity.
Yeah.
But if you were a scorekeeper, you would have easily been like, I'm doing all the work and you're doing nothing.
Right.
And that would not have been a good team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, you have to I think that goes back to knowing your roles, like whether it's a project, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a, even that comes back to our marriage roles. Like, I think we've done a good job of defining who does what, who pretty much does, like you pretty much do all of our laundry. And we defined that way like back in 2007. When I started a cloth diaper laundry service out of our basement. I said to you, if I'm going to be washing poopy diapers as my job, I would like you to do our laundry. And you were like, I can do that to support your business. So, and then even though that business, grew and then we sold it and all the things.
Yeah. But I was also okay with it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it begrudgingly.
Right.
So,
but I'm saying that was your role. Like, so now on our team, like, you don't hold that against me.
No.
That you do laundry. And if you want me to do laundry, you ask me to do laundry. Right. So I think it's important to have those kind of teammate roles defined instead of like, if both of us just expected each other to constantly do all of the laundry or all of the dishes or all of it, like, we constantly be pissy with each other.
Right.
Even something so staying on laundry. Recently, we got 2 hampers and like you put your dirty laundry in yours. I put my dirty laundry in mine and we do our own hamper.
Right.
And I think that even that little simple thing of like, well, that's yours and this is mine and we'll take care of our own responsibility has maybe relieved a little bit of pressure on you to feel like you're always having to do all the laundry. Has it? I don't know.
I think it has.
Yeah.
Well, just side note too, it takes all the time out of sorting out, which is huge. So less time.
And you wear 3 times the clothes that I wear. So
I'm a man.
There's that.
And I sweat. So yeah.
But yeah, I think defining roles, that's a big part of this as well, of being on your team so that you don't feel like you are that opponent.
Right.
Like, I do the dishes every single day. well, what does your partner do? And if it's literally nothing, maybe that's the conversation that you need to have is like, what are your roles? Like maybe your partner feels like their role is to go to work and make all the money, and your role is to take care of the house. You know, like I don't know.
But you got to be running the same play.
Yes.
You have to.
What is the playbook?
Right.
Yeah.
If you're in two different playbooks, that's not a teammate, you know? Like you got to be in the same play. So
absolutely. God, I love that the opponent keeps score and a teammate doesn't.
No, exactly.
Yeah. You could even say coach, like a coach keeps score, you know, for you, but
it's opponent because you don't want your teammate to be opponent.
But I'm just saying, like, I think that some people look at their marriage as like I was saying, maybe if one person's the breadwinner and the other isn't, they might feel a little superior. Right.
The person like making all the money or whatever. Sure.
And that like you have made more money than me for a very long time. And I don't feel from you that you've ever looked at that as you're superior to me.
Well,
right. As like you're my coach and not my teammate.
Yeah. I think in an early stage in our relationship, though, we already knew like everything is ours.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not knocking people that do this by any means, but like we've never had separate bank accounts.
Right.
You know, money is never between our relationship. Money's never been an issue. Now, has it been in our life? Yes. But never between us. Like we're always on the same page with money.
Yeah.
And that's just our choice. That's what worked really well for us.
Yeah.
So because it's ours, it's like, I don't care who makes it. Yeah. You know, like it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
It's our money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. But not everybody has that conversation early. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we still have friends that have been married almost 20 years and have separate bank accounts. Mm-hmm. And if that works for them, that's awesome. Maybe they figured a way out. But
right. Yeah. I think some people do need that anonymity, I guess, of like, or maybe agency to feel like this is my life, my money. I'm going to spend it how I want. And like having separate bank accounts is the only way they feel they can do that. Well, with us, we still feel that way, but it's just one bank account.
Right.
Well, without like hundreds of bank accounts, I feel like.
It feels like that.
But yeah, I know what you mean. So that was awesome.
I like that. 6 things.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you for sharing those with us. Where did you hear those from? A podcast?
I heard them from a different podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it.
And it was a section of it. And I was like, ooh, I paid attention.
Look at you.
And I was like, I love teamwork.
Learning, sharing.
So I feel like teamwork would be a core value in our lives, you know, like our team, you and me. Mm-hmm. So we're going to conquer the world someday.
I mean, we're trying one day at a time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So remember the 6 things.
You want to go over them again?
Real quick. And accept influence from each other. And you seek to find ways to make win-wins and compromises.
That's number 1.
Number 1.
Okay.
You got to have a generally positive perspective of your partner. Right.
Gratitude.
So, gratitude.
Yeah.
Yep. Accept the little flaws. Have grace with one another.
Yeah. Number
3. Number 4. You have to notice and respond to shifts in each other's moods. Right. So that's that emotional intelligence. You got to have a little bit of that with each other.
Yeah.
You have to inspire and believe in one another. I love that believe. You got to believe. What?
Butt slaps.
Butt slaps. Right.
Or high fives.
Yep.
Or
if you got to hang a cat poster on your wall, like hang in there and believe, like whatever you got to do. Believe in your partner.
Yeah.
And then remember to not keep score.
Opponents.
Right. So you're not an opponent. Score. You're a teammate. So
I love it.
Yeah. That's
Thanks,
it.
Babe.
Thanks
you for sharing.
Maybe I'll dress nicer next time.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. So our golden acorn today is be a teammate, not an opponent. Opponents keep score.
Yeah. Love it.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye. Thank you for joining Golden Acorns. Remember that small steps you take today can lead to big growth tomorrow. Keep planting those seeds of potential. Watch your life flourish in ways that truly matter. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone that could use a little inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a chance to grow with us.